Ready?
I am ready.
All right, we'll call to order Safety and Public Works, City of Brainerd. It is 7 o'clock, Monday, July 15th, 2024. In City Council chambers, we have 5 items on Safety and Public Works tonight. First of which is a final pay request for Southwest 4th Street outfall repair. And this one is Jesse Dean, Public Works Director. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So attached to this item is the final pay request for the Southwest 4th Street storm sewer outfall repair. Staff has worked with Bolton and Mink to see that all the restoration is taken through the spring and summer. At this time, we feel that the work is acceptable and recommend approval of the final pay request to Landwehr in the amount of $1,573.98.
Thank you. Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, go to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Number 2, we have a final pay request for improvement 2117 Lum Park SPRA reconstruction project. Again, Public Works Director Jesse Dean.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So attached to this item is the final pay request for the Lum Park Road reconstruction project. So similarly to the last item, staff has been monitoring this project this spring and summer to ensure that the restoration is fully taken. So we're now recommending approval of the final pay request to Anderson Brothers in the amount of $12,227.38.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Does that finish it? Is that the whole amount that's done then? We're done?
Yes, this would final out the project. This is basically retainage.
Okay.
Thank you.
I move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, go to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Number 3, we have awarding a proposal for engineering services for Lowell Safe Routes to School project. Again, Public Works Director Jesse Dean.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So as part of the Safe Routes to School grant the city received for Lowell on H Street, staff had solicited proposals from several engineering firms to assist with the design and construction of the project. So similar to what was completed on Harrison last year, we received 2 proposals, one from Bolton and Mink and one from WSB. Both proposals are similar in price when you balance out the assumption for construction duration, while WSB would perform some materials in-house and Bolton and Mink would require a second contract for materials testing, which is actually a pretty small dollar amount, all things considered. Both engineering firms are pretty well qualified and would provide us a quality project for the city. Due to WSB's familiarity with the Harrison Safe Routes project and the efficiency of not having to solicit a separate testing contract, staff would recommend award of the contract to WSB in the amount of $105,980.
Thank you. What is a typical materials testing cost?
It would only be a few $1,000s for a project of this size.
1,000, okay. And the discrepancy you think is, one thinks it's gonna be 5 weeks, one thinks it's gonna be 8 weeks, but it might be somewhere in the middle?
It could be anywhere between the 5 and 8 weeks. So when you just roughly balance either one out, it's going to be about the same amount, dollar for dollar. And you can even see in the WSB proposal, they have a roughly about, I think it was $6,000 in materials testing for hours allocated to that. That's about what we would expect for an amount of dollars towards a separate testing contract. So they're pretty equal in dollar amount cost.
Okay,
Mr. Chair.
yeah.
Jesse, when do we anticipate beginning this project as far as not going out for bids, but starting the actual work?
The design or the construction?
The construction.
The construction would likely take place as soon as school is out the next summer. So
Okay.
essentially beginning of June and for sure completing by the end of August. So during the summer season when school's not in session.
Thank you.
All right. So staff is recommending we go with WSB in the amount of $105,980. We have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, go to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Number 4, we have authorizing an advertisement for improvement 24-06 Laurel Street Bridge rehabilitation. Again, Public Works Director Jesse Dean.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So staff is requesting authorization to advertise the Laurel Street Bridge repair project for bids. Attached is the estimated cost for the repairs that include a new joint material and repair of the washed out riprap slope below the east bank. Staff would bring bids back to council for an award at the August 19th meeting.
Thank you.
I move that we authorize staff to advertise for bids for improvement 24-06.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, go to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Number 5, our final item for Safety and Public Works tonight, we have a police department exterior repairs project, and we're looking for an authorization for advertising for bids. Again, Public Works Director Jesse Dean.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So staff is requesting authorization to advertise the Police Department building exterior repair project for bids. The repairs include the EFIS, window and door replacements, roof replacements, and some other repairs. Attached is the cost estimate for this work. There's approximately $550,000 remaining in the budget for construction of this work. You'll note that there is a line item in there for ADA improvements along sidewalk. That does show $0. Because of the amount in the budget, we did remove that part of the scope to try and fall a little bit closer within the line of the budget based on the estimate. So as shown in there, the construction estimate is below the budget, but when you include the contingency, the amount is above the budget amount. So staff is recommending to advertise the project for bids as currently presented, just so we can determine some actual costs. If the bids are above the budget amount, we can work to identify some areas that could be reduced or removed to fall within the budget. But staff would intend to bring those bids back to council consideration at the August 19th meeting.
Thank you. And is there, sorry if I missed it, but is there a specific reason why this has gone above and beyond what it was originally estimated at?
So what we did is we took the 2018 facility study and applied a pretty modest and a pretty aggressive inflation factor because of the way way inflation has affected building improvements and building work has occurred in the last handful of years. And it's obviously been a little bit more aggressive than I even anticipated. So this is a result of Widseth, who's been doing the design work, has talked with some contractors on this work and has been getting estimates from what they've been having discussions with them. So I feel like this estimate is actually pretty representative of what we might see for estimates.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
Jesse, is this a project that's going to take part over the winter season at all, or is it all summer construction?
This is planned for this fall, and it's intentionally planned to run in concert with the HVAC system repair, as we're also doing the roof replacement. So it's done very much intentionally to make sure that we're not trying to do roof repairs twice.
And then expected to take what time-wise to finish it once it starts?
A couple months, probably beginning of September through maybe mid-November.
Thank you.
Excellent.
And could you explain the ADA portion that was left out?
So we had a couple different spots where we were identifying some ADA enhancements where there's currently ramps that are not ADA accessible. They're ramps, but they're not meeting current ADA standards. So one is adjacent to the angled parking stalls. There's a ramp, but it doesn't meet the current standards. And then there's two ramps adjacent to it would be the driveway going into the east garage door. So we identified a couple of those spots and had them designed to have them upgraded to ADA current standards. But after looking at the cost estimates, I believe it was an additional $35,000 with the estimate. So that would have brought the overall estimate, even without the contingency, above the current budget. So we felt like we wanted to focus the work specifically on the building because that was the intention of this project. So we left that part of the project out at this time until we can get some additional actual bids. If the bids do come in very advantageous and there's some room in the budget, that could possibly be something that we could talk with a contractor of re-including, since we do have the project designed, those ADA improvements designed. It is something that we could look at, but we wanted to focus our attention on the building itself.
Is this based on it being an Americans with Disabilities Act, or we're doing an improvement, is it now a requirement that we take care of this now?
As we're not really doing anything with the sidewalk, it is not, the improvements we're doing are specifically to the wall, the building, walls, windows, doors, and roof. So the sidewalk is not a requirement at this time.
Thank you.
So it will have to be addressed next time we redo the street or the sidewalks or anything.
If we do anything with the street or sidewalk, we would want to do those improvements at that time.
Thank you. Motion? Staff's recommending we authorize to advertise the police department exterior repairs project for bids.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, go to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. And we have 19 minutes until the council meeting. We can adjourn.
19